Hello, my name is Vince Henry, and I'm the inventor of the Gaim G360 putter. I'm here to share with you some of what I discovered while attempting to improve my own putting. First of all, when I look at a putter, I see a tool that should be designed to maximize the distance and directional control of a golf ball. And much of what inspired me while designing the G360 was when I studied other equipment designed for putting, I saw negatives built into that equipment that affected both distance and directional control. So my goal while designing the G360 was very simple: identify and remove as many of these negatives as possible. So here are 12 negatives that have been removed from the G360 that I'm confident will improve your distance and directional control. The first negative removed from the G360 is a low contrast alignment system. The problem is most putters are a medium gray metallic color, and against medium gray, both white and black alignment marks offer only mediocre contrast. Notice when placed alongside other putters, the Gaim's high contrast white on black alignment system appears to be in high definition. And this seems simple, however, if you're not focused on the alignment system, your attention will be on the ball and the face of the putter. If your focus is on the face of the putter, you can be misaligned by 2 to 3 degrees, and the human eye can't detect that. And that's how a high contrast alignment system improves your directional control. The second negative removed from the G360 is visual noise. The problem is many putters are easier to aim without the presence of a golf ball. And we know this is true because we see golfers and even pros who will place their putter head in front of a golf ball who are attempting to overcome the problem of visual noise. The G360 is designed to set up very well with the presence of a golf ball. Notice, like a ball, the color of the Gaim's alignment system is pure white. It has a center line to ensure you're centered on the ball, and there's also a horseshoe mark that frames the ball and its path to the hole. And to promote follow-through, the back of the horseshoe mark has the exact same contour as the back of the ball. And this seems clear. However, either your alignment system, the ball, and its path to the hole are visually synchronized, or the entire process is visually awkward. And that's how visually synchronizing the putting process improves your directional control. The third negative removed from the G360 is a misaligned face angle. The problem is most putters provide very little visual assistance to square the face angle at address and are easily misaligned by 2 to 3 degrees. Notice that the G360 has a two-piece center line, and when the front and rear lines are visually united, you know that the face is aimed to within 1 degree of your target. The combination of these two lines creates an axis. In other words, you've got two lines that check one another. And has a device to ensure proper face angle, an axis is ideal because two lines are better than one. And this seems obvious. However, a ball will travel to wherever the face is aimed at impact, and even a perfect stroke can't compensate for a misaligned face angle. And that's how a properly aligned face angle improves your directional control. The fourth negative removed from the G360 is tension. The problem is most putters show you a line to the hole. Notice how the horseshoe mark of the Gaim G360's alignment system frames the ball, and it shows you a path to the hole. Visualizing a path to the hole causes far less tension than imagining a straight line to the hole. And it seems evident, however, if your mind believes it has to putt down a perfectly straight line, the tension to be more precise will cause you to overlook the pace or speed of the putt. And that's how visualizing a path to the hole improves your distance control. The fifth negative removed from the G360 is dissimilar materials. The problem is many putter faces contain composite material intended to improve feel. However, the striking surface of composite face putters contain both steel and composite. Therefore, it's possible to strike a ball on either the steel, the composite, or a combination of the two, and each will produce a different result in distance. So be aware that combining different materials is a way of improving feel at the expense of distance control. Notice the entire body of the G360 is a solid tungsten composite. It's the first of its kind, and because it's a solid composite, the energy transfer is pure and the feel is very solid. And this seems natural, however, because different materials transfer energy at different rates, distance control will be less predictable with a composite face putter. And that's how a solid composite head improves your distance control. The sixth negative removed from the G360 is an uncentered center of gravity, or COG. The problem is most putter heads are asymmetrical, therefore the sweet spot isn't centered on the face. And technically the sweet spot is the center of gravity, which is simply the exact point at which a putter head can be balanced on its face. Missing the COG will cause a putter face to twist open or closed, and the ball will follow. Notice that the head of the G360 is symmetrical, so the center of gravity, or the sweet spot, is perfectly positioned in the center of the club face. And this seems understandable. However, for a putter to be reliable, a putt should be struck as close to the center of gravity as possible, but not knowing its location makes it difficult to hit. And that's how a centered center of gravity improves your directional control. The seventh negative removed from the G360 is low moment of inertia, or MOI. The problem is low MOI putters are a lot like blade type irons. They're less forgiving and require somewhat more skill because they have very small sweet spots. Moment of inertia is just a fancy phrase for heel-toe weighting and is a way of gauging a putter's stability or forgiveness on off-centered hits. And placing more mass in the heel and toe portions raises the MOI, and by raising the moment of inertia, you get a larger sweet spot. Notice there's a large void in the center of the G360 that produces a natural heel-toe weight system. And this seems basic, however, by removing the unnecessary material, 80% of the game's total mass has been relocated to the heel and toe portions. 80% is an extremely high percentage of heel-toe weighting, enough to maximize the MOI, which is often the difference between a near miss and a made putt. And that's how a higher moment of inertia improves your directional control. The eighth negative removed from the G360 is a low center of gravity. The problem is most putters are bottom weighted and have a center of gravity position well below the equator of the ball. I don't know why, because it's well known that iron manufacturers attempt to increase loft and backspin by placing as much mass as possible below the ball's equator. However, the same physics apply to putters, and unlike iron shots that are airborne, a putted ball is in constant contact with ground surface. Therefore, backspin is a problem that produces skid and affects distance control. Notice that the bottom of the G360 has a large void, which helps eliminate the problem of backspin by positioning the center of gravity above the ball's equator. And this seems fundamental. However, controlling distance starts by eliminating skid and getting your golf ball into what's called a true roll as soon as possible. And that's how a higher center of gravity improves your distance control. The ninth negative removed from the G360 is low tracking momentum. The problem is most putter heads weigh an average of 320 grams, and for most amateurs that's too light to promote follow-through. We know this is true because amateurs miss 80% of their putts to the right. The reason we call our putter the G360 is because it weighs 360 grams. That's about 40 grams heavier than the average putter. Now 40 grams is approximately the weight of a golf ball, and this additional weight will help to keep your putter head on its intended path and make it less likely for you to quit on the stroke. And this seems uncomplicated, however, a heavier head will always maintain its tracking momentum better than a lighter head, and that's how higher tracking momentum improves your directional control. The 10th negative removed from the G360 is an open face at impact. The problem is most putter designs don't seem to consider that the putting stroke has a natural arc and do little to help close the face at impact. Notice that the Gaim is designed with a 10% toe hang. And it's important to understand that in order to keep the center of gravity in the center of the face, we needed to accomplish this without placing any additional weight or mass into the toe portion. So with the help of the engineers at True Temper, we created a special shaft designed to achieve what's called a 10% toe bias. And by working together, the G360 shaft and head are designed to return the putter face to an accurate position. And this seems apparent, however, in order to square the face at impact, the natural arc of the stroke must be completed. And that's how a toe-biased head improves your directional control. The 11th negative removed from the G360 is poor hand-eye position. The problem is many putters have lie angles of 71 degrees or less, and for most amateurs that's too low. If a lie angle is too low, the location of the hands will be too close to the body and force the eyes away from the target line. So another reason for missing putts to the right is poor eye position that's actually caused by poor hand position, all because of a lie angle that doesn't fit properly. Notice that at 72 degrees, the G360 shaft is slightly more upright, and we do this to help get your eyes directly over the target line. This is the critical first step to aiming, and it seems sensible. However, when the hands and eyes compete for position, the eyes usually lose and must set up in a position below the target line. And if your eyes are below the target line, an optical illusion occurs that alters your perception of the hole location. In other words, you'll aim right because you'll see right. And that's how getting your eyes over the target line improves your directional control. The 12th negative removed from the G360 is glare. The problem is most putter heads are made of steel and have a polished metal surface. Notice that the head of the G360 is a matte black, low sheen, and anti-glare. And this seems noticeable, however, when sunlight reflects from the surface of a shiny metal putter head, it causes glare that can distract and interfere with your aiming. And that's how an anti-glare head improves your directional control.
Hi folks, Greg Powers here, lifetime member of the PGA Tour and a proud player of the Gaim G360 putter. What? You haven't heard of Gaim Golf? Well, let's take care of that right now. Golf Test USA, the #1 independent golf tester, tested hundreds of putters, including the industry's top brands, such as Odyssey, Ping, and Scotty Cameron, to name a few. They tested in such categories as feel, distance control, and alignment, and rated our Gaim G360 putter as the putter with the #1 overall average ranking. You talk about impressive. Our contact information is below. Give us a call and find out what those in the know have already discovered. This is the last putter you will ever need to buy. Congratulations on deciding to improve your game by buying a Gaim G360.